Hello and welcome to the history of movie theaters and drive-ins for the Atlanta area for 1960 to 1969. Here are the movie listings for 1960. (1960) The Paramount and the Mountain Theater at Stone Mountain closes. 1961 Bailey Theaters closes the Carver and Forest Theaters. The Swan Theater in Norcross closes. 1962 The first adult theater opens, the Kirkwood, on April 27. Cobb Theaters opens the Thunderbird Drive-In on June 27. The Buckhead Theater becomes the Capri Theater as Weiss Theaters takes over on June 29. Story Theaters stops showing movies at the Euclid on July 31. The Fulton Drive-In is opened by Story Theaters on August 17. Martin Theaters takes over the Old Tower Theater and reopens it as the Martin Cinerama on October 3. The Central Theater starts to show adult movies on October 15. The Highway 12 in Lithonia and the 85 Highway Drive-Ins in Fayetteville switches to adult fare. The Rialto and Brookhaven Theaters closes. 1963 The theaters in Atlanta were desegregated. Myselman Theaters opens the Atlantic Theater on June 5. Georgia Theater Company opens the Lenox Square Theater on June 20. It was the first theater in the suburbs to show first-run movies instead of downtown. Myselman Theaters opens the Cherokee Theater on June 26. Martin Theaters opens the new Rialto Theater on July 12, replacing the old Rialto Theater. The Northeast Expressway Drive-In in Chamblee is opened by the Georgia Theater Company on September 11. 1964 The Cobb Theater in Smyrna opens on July 24. The Belvedere Theater in Decatur is opened by Myselman Theaters. 1965 The first twin indoor theater, the Westgate Cinemas, is opened by Martin Theater on January 28. The Eastgate Theater in Decatur is opened by Martin Theaters on January 28. Myselman Theaters opens the Taco Hills on February 19. The Martin Georgia Cinerama Theater opens on April 14. Martin Theaters opens the Village Theater in Tucker on April 16. Story Theaters opens the North DeKalb Theater on July 30. The North 85 Drive-In is opened by Story Theaters in Chamblee on August 13. The Greenbrier Theater is opened by the Georgia Theater Company on October 15.
Look out! Here comes the biggest Bond of all. Thunderball.
The 81 Theater closes. 1966. On June 23, the Festival Art Cinema opens downtown. The Lakewood Theater is opened by Story Theaters on October 12. The Town Cinema in Avondale Estates is opened on November 30. These theaters closed in 1966. 1967. The Miracle Theater in Smyrna opens on June 19. The East Art Theater opens in July. The 10th Street Art opens on September 29, showing adult movies. These theaters closed in 1967. 1968. On March 1, the Coronet Theater is opened by H.B. Meiselman Theaters. The Ansley Mall and the Peachtree Battle Mini Cinema is opened by Modular Cinemas of America on April 5. The Brookhaven Art reopens, showing adult movies on May 22. The Loews Terra, which is named after one of the estates in Gone with the Wind, opened on July 10 with Gone with the Wind. The Sandy Springs Mini Cinema opens on December 18. Martin Theaters opens the Marbo Twin Drive-In in Marietta on December 19. The North Springs Theater is opened by Meiselman Theaters on December 25. The Westgate, Strand in Marietta, Eastgate in Decatur, and the Village in Tucker is sold by Martin Theaters to the Georgia Theaters Company. The Eastgate Theater in Decatur is renamed Suburban Plaza. The Festival Theater closes. 1969. On January 1, H.B. Meiselman Theaters becomes Eastern Federal Theaters. The Martin Cinema is renamed on March 26 as the Atlanta Theater by Walter Reed Theaters. On June 11, the Lenox Square Cinema gets its second screen, as well as the Town Theater in Avondale Estates switches to adult movies. The Metro Cinema opens on June 13, showing adult movies. Eastern Federal opens the Cobb Cinema in Smyrna on July 4. The Town and Country in Marietta is opened by Eastern Federal Theaters on November 21. The Ben Hill 1 and 2 is opened by Eastern Federal Theaters on November 25. It was the first automated twin cinema in Atlanta. The ABC Phipps Plaza Theater opens on December 19 with an Ultravision screen. The Empire and Grove Theaters closes. Thanks for watching. Remember to like and subscribe.